All right, GolfWRX. My name is Johnny Wunder. I'm the Director of Content. We're at the ECPC, the Ely Callaway Performance Center in Carlsbad, California. Talking about wedges today. So Callaway was nice enough to give us access to the guy that makes these. These are the new ones. These are the MD5 Jaws wedge. We're gonna talk to this guy.
John,
Mr. Roger Cleveland.
Johnny, great to be here.
Thank
WRX, great to be with you guys.
So we have the new MD5 Jaws wedge. So just in a general sense, let's just talk about what has changed since the MD4.
Well, we get a lot of feedback from the tour. Shaping has changed a little bit. We straightened out the leading edge radius. We straightened out the top line. Made the lower lofts 46, 48 a little shorter from heel to toe.
Okay.
And that fits into your sets better. We had a little objection on the MD4. They were a little bit big.
Okay.
So now you have a nice flow from your lower lofts into your higher lofts. Higher lofts, same size. You need a little bigger size, a little higher toe. We had 4 grinds on the MD4. We have modified all those 4 grinds slightly to make them even more friendly. We added 1 more grind, which I'll talk about in a minute. But the other big thing that we have done is we create a little bit more spin with a little more aggressive groove. And it's actually more spin, especially in the area that we're going to talk about, the 40 to 50 yard shot. It's about 500 to 600 more RPM. And that seems small, but it's huge.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Those are all like the nitty gritty of the information, which most people don't really see in a wedge. Like you don't really feel that. You don't really, everything you just said.
It's not a flash face.
Right.
I mean, we're not going to get it, 25 yards longer. We want to have control. And the more spin we can create with this, and the more feel, the more control.
Now, as far as the tourist testing, so if you guys come out with a new grind, is that your opinion of what the market might need, or from feedback from the general public, or is that a tour thing?
That's a tour thing,
okay.
Especially in the lofted wedge.
So this is what we're going to do. So we're going to keep it, selfishly, we're going to keep it about me today. 50 yards and in, we're going to hit 5 different grinds with the 60. We're just going to hit some shots and learn some stuff.
Absolutely. Learn some technique and learn why the soles work for different types of technique. Let's find out what your technique is,
okay.
And then we'll determine what correct grind for this shot.
Okay.
So I want you to hit 30, 40 yard shot, just
out here
somewhere. Just a simple shot and see what you do.
I don't want a wedge to obviously dig, so my miss with a wedge is more of a drop kick.
Uh-huh.
Like that.
Uh-huh. So what's happening there, I mean, that grind is good for you with your technique.
Okay.
Because it's sliding through. You're hitting, you're not hitting them perfectly, but you're hitting it behind the ball and letting it slide through the ball. Pretty good shot. The only thing I might add, you might increase your width a little bit, get about a ½ inch further away from the ball. So
this way?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay. Like that one felt good.
Yeah. So what you're hitting there is a C grind.
Okay.
Okay. That has an 8 on it. We have an 8 and a 10, and there's one other grind I want you to show you that has for shallow entry.
Right.
Okay. It's not the bounce. Both the C and the S have 13 degrees of bounce, which is ideal.
Okay.
It's right in the sweet spot of what you want for a shallow entry. That's what the tour uses. I don't do any grinding out there anymore, hardly. So that was nice. No, the only difference between the C and the S, the S does not have so much relief, so it's for people who don't really need to open it up so much.
Right.
Okay, some people get a little confused when they open it up. They think they're going to hit it right.
Right.
Okay, you don't, because you're releasing the club head.
So when you say a little bit of help, so for the general, I mean, a lot of the gear nerds will understand what that means, but
there's more relief in the heel. As you open the wedge, you add bounce.
Right.
Okay, we take bounce away from the heel, so it keeps the leading edge, as you add bounce or loft, keeps a leading edge low so it can get under the ball.
So ultimately, like all the stuff that they do back here to a wedge, and I've heard Phil talk about this a lot, is creating more room to get the club under the ball.
That's right.
That's basically what all this is for.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wants to slide. You want to increase that slide. If you bounce, even in firm sand or firm conditions, this is pretty firm around here.
Yeah.
You need to be able to slide it.
Okay. See, for me, like whenever I'm trying out a wedge or a grind, there's a couple shots. One's obviously this little 31, but obviously there's that one too.
So you did it awfully well with the S. So, but you're hitting, for everybody, Johnny's hitting an inch behind the ball and letting it slide through the ball. You're not. The other thing that you do really well is he keeps his width. Okay. Anytime you're trying to lift it up and you dip your knees, okay, you're reducing that width and you're going to bottom out too far behind the ball. He's keeping his knees pretty flexed and rotating, and your right shoulder high and letting this club drop. It's a really good technique. This is the new grind.
Okay.
This is the low bounce W.
Okay, I wanted to stop the video really quickly because I had to make a comment on the low bounce W grind that's in the new line, the MD5 Jaws wedges. This grind totally spun my head around. I'm very finicky when it comes to lob wedges. I've usually been in like a C grind or an S grind, but this thing was not only extremely versatile around the greens, but really easy to use. Out of the bunkers, around the greens, off of tight lies. It's as versatile a grind as they make, and it's a brand new one. And as Roger says in the video, it's something that he grinded in for the tour guys for a long time. So, and you'll pay attention to his reaction. He's obviously very passionate about it as well. Let's get back to it.
This is something that I've done and ground on the tour for a number of years.
Okay.
So this has 10 degrees of bounce, okay, but it's wide. It's a kind of a technical. It has 7 in the heel, 8 in the toe. And we'll see. That's pretty sweet.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So this because it's a little wider, it's a little more forgiving, but it has less bounce. It's quite good for this type of shallow entry. That was pretty
good.
sweet.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I see somebody who sets his hands. A lot of wrist cock for this shot, a little steeper into it.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the standard W. We actually took that W and made it a little bit more like a sure out. We widened the heel as well as the toe. Okay. We have a nice radius, okay, from front to back, but this is a little bit wider. So you can, in a bunker, you can hit even further behind it and get it out.
So this one might, for a guy like me, this will be a little bit trickier off of this lie.
This you're going to.
Yeah, I can feel it.
You can feel the bounce. Now the bounce here is around 12 degrees, but it's wide. The actual turf interaction is not only that angle, but the width.
Okay.
Pretty good. We have one more if you're steep.
Oh, well, that's a lot.
And that's the X. The X is very, very narrow here, but it has a lot of bounce. It has 19, 20 degrees of bounce. Okay, as you can see with the shaft at 90, you can see that angle. Okay, but it's very narrow.
Okay.
And if you're steep, this is really good if you want to open it up.
This is the polar opposite of where I started.
Yes. So go ahead and do a lot of rests, and you'll feel the bounce. But
I just feel it. I feel it. Yeah, literally bounce.
Well, this is really, folks. This is really tight conditions here. So it's going to.
Yeah, I mean, if this is, you've had a couple of beers the night before you come out here, like you can have a tough time getting the ball in the air out of this lie.
But that still works because there's a lot of relief in the heel there when you open it up. I'm going to switch it. That is not. I wouldn't fit you for that wedge.
Okay.
First wedge you had, which was the C grind.
Okay.
Yeah, that you can do that all day long.
So, the highlight of the package and all the marketing and everything we've seen is spin, spin, spin. So it's literally called Jaws.
Exactly.
So, talk to me about the grooves on this thing.
Well, it takes about 10 minutes to machine one wedge on the grooves. We kept the micros, which are the 4 positives between each groove, like the MD4.
Okay.
But the groove itself, we actually tightened up the radius of the edge of the groove, which actually imparts more spin, especially in the 40 to 50 yard area.
Which is what we
it's
like,
about,
yeah.
It's about anywhere from 500 to 600 more RPM, and that's controlled.
Okay. This is a pretty general shot. So like we could go around and find places all over here and try to hit a bunch of spinners, but for the general golfer, right off of the green to a flag like this is where, like, I'll call it practical spin's going to come into play.
Right.
Right? Like where you'll
You're
notice.
not going to get a lot of spin, but this will still spin a little bit more.
Right. We're trying to stay on planet Earth here. So yeah, I'd love to have, be able to hit full shots over there. But for this exercise, I just want to hit some shots, some little runners out there, so people can understand. Yeah. Understand what it would do and what the grooves
So what
would do.
wedge did we choose here? You're gonna we narrowed it down again to
C and the W.
C and a W.
Low bounce.
Low bounce. So the 8.
So for this shot, And this is a shot I rely on spin. I'm not a big, you know, I'm trying to land this 2/3 of the way there and get it to kind of die. So. Okay.
Very good. Well, that was nicely hit there. So I just want to reiterate, the 8, 10, and 12 is a fitting system.
Okay.
So the 8 and 10 if you're shallow, the 12 if you're steep. So we have 2 at 12 and 3 options with technique that is shallow.
Okay. That's the, if I'm humming, that's the shot I want right there.
Yep. And one of the things, you got to expose those grooves, so you want to clean off that face. Don't have stuff on the face and don't have things in the grooves.
It's always an important thing.
The pros have caddies, but we have to. Ooh, that was nice.
So there you go.
You can see the, oh. Yeah, let's
try
try the
this
other
one.
Mhm.
Okay. Ooh. So you could hear that
was
one
sweet.
grab.
Yep.
Yeah. So now if I'm really trying to zip one in there.
Nice. You can tell by the second bounce.
Well, you can hear it. Like you don't pick this up on with the mics, but you can
Yep.
hear it go.
Yeah. Nice feel, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's a noticeable difference. So like a player like me, shot like this, you don't really hear it grab.
Yeah.
Like you really got to clip one with it.
That's right. One of the things that's really wonderful about this set of wedges is the feel right there that you get.
Yeah, they're soft,
Yep, really soft.
but not. I've always liked this about Callaway wedges, and I played the X Forged a long time ago. They're not too soft, which I like. You get a little. They get that nice click.
Well, they
to
are
them, too.
steel. It's a soft steel. It's an 8620 high carbon steel, so there's a lot of feedback. Nice. Take a look at that pattern, folks. That's pretty tight.
For
Pretty
a
good,
hack
Johnny.
like me, I'll take it. It's like a bucket list thing to get Roger Cleveland in a bunker and talk about wedges, and we're gonna try and hit some spinners. So he's gonna watch
They're
me hit
very
a
nice.
couple of bunker shots and see my technique and try to hit some spinners.
The best bunker players that I have seen let the ball run out, okay? And that's how you're going to have a chance to make it,
Set it
not
by
spin
Asteros.
it. Absolutely.
So let's hit some bunker shots, see what this does.
Yeah. See if all this theory works.
Ooh, that had some spin.
Nice.
So what I'm noticing with this grind, which is a pretty general grind for what I've
Yeah,
used in the
the
past,
C grind.
that's a little bit easier to use, and I haven't hit that out of the bunker yet. But this takes a little bit more precision for me at this point in my life. Okay.
Very
Little
nice.
Chunk and run.
Okay, let's hit one more.
Okay.
Nice. You want to hit this new one?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, this thing's real good out of the bunkers.
Yep. This is our low bounce 8, which I think Johnny is favoring
Hear
right
that
now.
sound?
That is the
Thump.
thump,
Yeah.
the wee dunt, as Crenshaw would call it. Yep. And that's spinning like crazy.
Ooh. Okay.
Nice.
So I'll try to hit one up in the air now. See if I can get one.
Well, I'll give you a good lie.
There we go.
Nice.
There you go.
Beautiful. Little stoppage on that.
This is the thing, like, yes, this is a Callaway video with Roger over at ECPC, but as a GolfWRX person and pretty brand agnostic, these wedges, especially this one, and I'm a weirdo with lob wedges, total weirdo. This thing's really easy to use, and I'm what you would call like a shallow kind of picker, Steve
Yeah.
Strickery
Well,
kind of.
But that's, to me, that's the best technique in
Okay.
in the 40 to 50 yards in, and bunkers. You can set it and rotate it. You got to rotate it in the bunker. That's a heck of a wedge.
It's a great wedge, and I'll say this, guys, like the difference when club companies, Callaway, any of the big ones come out with new stuff, the changes you're gonna see are subtle, especially when it comes to the wedges. We're talking about a softer bounce, you know, like we were talking about the bounces over there, like that's where you're gonna see it. So it's not like you pick up a wedge and all of a sudden you're zipping it back off the green. It's not an infomercial at 3 a.m. They're very subtle things, but when you really analyze it down to the minutia of the minutia, it does make a difference. And at this point in the game with equipment, you're trying to save a couple of shots.
Absolutely.
Like it's not 10, 15 shots anymore.
But this is the area where amateurs, especially the amateurs, the pros really understand this area. They work at it. Phil works at it. All these guys, because they miss, I don't know, 6, 7 greens, you know, a round, and they'll shoot 68. And how do they do that? You know, and if we can get it over the bunker and get a bogey or a par once in a while instead of, you know, having some issues, that is so much more fun and more enjoyable, and you're handicapped at that will drift down.
This is, you know, obviously about the MD5 wedges, but what a better way to kind of illustrate what these new wedges can do than to get in the bunkers, hit some shots.
Yep.
My biggest takeaway from this whole experience is that these are subtle changes, and you have to really sort of pay attention to your own game. So before you come in, get fit for wedges.
Well, we have options for every swing type, and that's the key here. We added one. Okay, we have 5 different options for your technique in your lob area.
Want to thank Callaway Golf and Roger for what a great
Johnny.
Experience.
Great
I appreciate it.
This
is Johnny Wunder with GolfWRX.com. We're here at ECPC. This is a dream scenario. I get to work with Roger Cleveland in the bunkers, and it's been a fun day. So we'll see you guys later.